Hey America, John Oliver here. Let's talk about Massachusetts. No, not the clam chowder, although it is pretty delicious. Not the bizarre obsession with Dunkin'. Seriously, it's everywhere. We're diving into the wild world of ballot questions. These things are like mini elections on specific issues. They give voters a direct voice. And in 2024, Massachusetts voters had a lot to say. They were passionate and engaged. Now you might be thinking, ballot questions? Sounds boring, but hold your horses. It's more exciting than you think. These things have real power. They can shape the future. They can change laws, shift priorities, and basically tell politicians what the people really want. It's direct democracy in action. In a democracy, that's kind of a big deal. It's the essence of having a say. So buckle up as we break down the 5 big ballot questions that had Massachusetts buzzing. These were hot topics. From government transparency to the future of education, things got interesting. Let's get into it and see what the fuss was all about. First up, we're tackling government accountability. It's a topic that's always on the minds of citizens and lawmakers alike. Ballot question 1 was all about keeping tabs on the folks up on Beacon Hill, aka the Massachusetts legislature. This initiative aimed to bring more oversight to the legislative process. The question was simple. Should the state auditor have the power to audit the legislature just like any other government agency? This would mean more scrutiny and potentially more accountability. The answer? A resounding yes, from over 70% of voters. This overwhelming support showed a clear demand for transparency. That's a whole lot of people saying, hey, we want to know how our tax dollars are being spent, even by the folks making the laws. It's about ensuring that every dollar is accounted for. Transparency, people, it's a beautiful thing. When government actions are clear and open, trust in the system grows. Now there might be some legal hurdles ahead. Implementing this change won't be without its challenges. Separation of powers and all that jazz. Balancing the branches of government is crucial, but so is accountability. But the message is clear. Massachusetts voters want more transparency from their elected officials. They want to see their government working for them. And that, my friends, is a victory for democracy. When the people speak and their voices are heard, democracy thrives. Next up, let's talk education. Ballot question 2 took aim at the MCAS, the standardized test that's been a thorn in the side of Massachusetts students for decades. The question, should the MCAS be eliminated as a graduation requirement? Again, voters said, heck yeah, the MCAS is no more a requirement to graduate. Supporters argued that the test put too much pressure on students and didn't accurately reflect their abilities. Now school districts have the freedom to decide their own graduation criteria. This is a big win for teachers, parents, and students who felt the MCAS was doing more harm than good. Only time will tell how this impacts education in the Bay State. But one thing's for sure, change is afoot. Section 4, ride-sharing rights, a victory for gig workers. Now let's talk about the gig economy. Ballot question 3 was all about ride-hailing apps like Uber and Lyft. The question, should drivers for these companies have the right to unionize? Massachusetts, being the progressive haven it is, said, you betcha. This makes Massachusetts the first state in the nation to grant union rights to gig workers. A historic moment indeed. This is a huge victory for drivers who have long argued for better pay, benefits, and working conditions. It sets a precedent for other states and could have major implications for the future of work. The gig economy just got a whole lot more worker-friendly. Section 5, a mixed bag, psychedelics and tipped wages. This section delves into 2 intriguing ballot questions that stirred quite a bit of debate. Finally, let's wrap things up with 2 ballot questions that didn't quite make it to the finish line. These questions, though not passed, sparked significant conversations among voters. Ballot question 4 proposed legalizing certain psychedelic substances for adults. This initiative aimed to explore the potential benefits of psychedelics in mental health treatment. While gaining some traction, it ultimately went up in smoke. The opposition was strong, citing concerns over public safety and the lack of comprehensive research. Concerns about potential risks and black markets proved too strong to overcome. The fear of unregulated use and the creation of a black market were significant deterrents. Ballot question 5 aimed to raise the minimum wage for tipped workers to match the full minimum wage. This proposal sought to address income disparities in the service industry. Supporters argued it would ensure fair pay for servers and bartenders. They believed it was a necessary step towards economic justice for these workers. However, opponents argued it would hurt businesses and potentially lead to job losses. They feared that increased labor costs could force small businesses to close or cut staff. In the end, the no votes prevailed. The majority of voters were not convinced that the benefits outweighed the potential drawbacks. So there you have it. The results reflect a cautious approach to change. The 2024 Massachusetts ballot questions were a mixed bag of progress and caution. Each question highlighted the complexities of policymaking in a diverse society. From government transparency to worker rights, these questions tackled some of the most pressing issues facing the state. They reflect the ongoing dialogue about our collective future. Remember, folks, your vote is your voice. Every ballot cast is a step towards shaping the society we live in. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's keep making democracy work. Your participation is crucial in driving meaningful